Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Ajeenkya Patil University School of Design, I, Aparna Mhetras, Professor and Dean at School of Design, would like to welcome our guest for today's conversation.
Thank you.
We have with us the legend, Mr. Dilip Chhabaria, one of the India's most iconic automobile designers, celebrated for revolutionizing the custom car modification industry in the country. Born in Mumbai, Mr. Chhabaria nurtured a lifelong passion for automobiles, which led him to pursue formal education at the prestigious Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, California. Following his studies, he worked briefly with General Motors, gaining invaluable industry experience before returning to India to establish his legacy in automotive design. So let's hear from the legend himself. So, sir, what sparked your interest to be a designer?
So, as far back as I can remember, when I was probably 8 or 9, I have photographs of me with a garland of, toy cars around my neck. So I presume that it was from that age onwards. And then as I grew into my teens, I used to doodle on walls, on napkins, wherever I found a white flat surface. And it was not only me. I figured that when I went into college, a lot of my friends or compatriots, they all love cars.
Yeah.
And I think I was a little more in love with them than superfluous, passing interest. And I decided that I have to do something in the design of cars or in any auto industry affiliate. And then one day my father's friend bought a magazine from the US. He was a pilot. At that time, I'm talking of the mid-70s and late 70s, there was no internet and you never got foreign magazines. So where do you get information from? But this magazine had a advertisement from Art Center, very small advertisement. Do you want to be a car designer? And at that time, I didn't even know that this could be a career.
Right.
I thought cars are made by engineers, and they were not. They still aren't. And that got me interested more. And when I realized the economic benefits or the implications, I took far more serious interest for my age than I could have if I was not very passionate about cars. So that's how it all started.
Right.
I loved cars as 8 slept drawing cars.
Right. So all the students who are listening to me, when you doodle on the walls, don't just leave it there. Take it ahead, and that's where you can be, right? As an example.
I think keep doodling.
Yes.
That's the key, because you got to create thousands of sketches to even make one door.
Right.
So, and now is an era where it's globalized in that sense, of course, especially with pre-Trump era. But I had parents who allowed me to indulge myself in my hobby or passion.
Yes.
And that's what I would tell all the students, to have the courage to, rebel against your parents if they force you not to draw.
Yes. So also, how was this journey, which started as a budding designer and led you to be the legendary designer?
Sara, I don't know whether I'm legendary.
Definitely.
I don't take compliments very easily, but the question is that when I went to General Motors, I felt very stiffened working in a department of 1,500 designers. And I realized that I could only get to design a door handle for the first 20-25 years till I achieved seniority. And I was not willing to wait. So I left the job in a year's time. I came back to India, and my father was in electronics. He used to make components, and I had no interest whatsoever. So I used to go to his office and pretend that I was doing something, but I was again drawing. And then I requested him to allow me to develop an accessory for a car, which was at that time you had only Fiats and Ambassadors, and whose accessories you couldn't access because those cars were obsolete world over, as it is imports are not allowed. And that one accessory did very well. Gave me the encouragement to develop more and more accessories, and the result that in a couple of years I was earning enough to buy a flat in House South Bombay every year. So that got me hooked to design and accessories, and I think that's where I learned the process and materials, what to use where.
Yes.
And then again in 10 years time I was bored. I had enough money to be independent, and I decided to customize cars. That was the sum of all parts, and not for the sake of love of customizing, because I'm basically a car designer, but I thought that was a means to an end to create a portfolio to send out to the various foreign companies to solicit car design, much like competing with Italian, German and Japanese. So that's how I started customizing as a means to an end, but my goal was always to design all new cars.
So was there a story behind Avanti, DC Avanti? So
the story behind DC Avanti was that the fact that a lot of global car makers came to us for design, for building, and they have taken a risk on us. Why can't we take a risk on ourselves? I was also looking at, making the company less dependent on me as a one-man show, and creating a product that could transcend many years to come after I've gone. And that is how the Avanti was created. And it was the first supercar of its kind in India, still is.
yes.
And importantly, it was the transition for a designer from a transition from a designer to be an entrepreneur, from an entrepreneur to be a car manufacturer. So that was a fantastic learning for us, and that has helped a custom business, because when you go through the rigors of car making, you know what you can do, what you can't do, and that has fine-tuned our custom business to a large extent.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, also let me tell you that his portfolio, it now spans cars, SUVs, MUVs, luxury and specialty vehicles. Also, his work has earned him the high-profile clients, including the iconic Bollywood stars, Mr. Shah Rukh Khan and Mr. Salman Khan, and also our ace batsman, Mr. Virat Kohli.
And Sachin.
Tendulkar. All many leading.
And all car companies. BMW,
Yes.
Volkswagen, Renault. So we have a very dynamic matrix of catering to B2C customers and B2B, and from cars to SUVs to luxury vehicles, large vehicles. So if you put it on a matrix, it's a very dynamic matrix.
Yes.
And therefore, there can never be any dull moment for us, because you always have enough business coming our way because of the various activities that you have.
Yes, yeah. I'm sure everyone has watched the movie Tarzan the Wonder Car. You know who was behind the Wonder Car? Any guesses? So the man sitting here.
Yeah, I think they is emblazoned on the door DC.
Yes.
So they call him some Ben Chaudhary or something. But midway when this car was being designed, they realized that the car is going to be the hero, not the hero per se. And therefore they decided to use my brand because it would reach a far wider audience.
What did you think when you collaborated and you wanted to start DYPDC?
Good question. So, Ajeenkya came to my office for some of his own vehicles, and I knew that he's an education barrel. And by 2010, the Indian industry was achieving critical mass. The auto industry was achieving critical mass. Before that, it was a fledgling industry, and people who went, who I guided them to go abroad to study car design were doing it because of their passion, not necessarily that they
Wanted to.
or they would want to stay abroad.
Yes.
But I realized that the Indian auto industry needs
Well,
those professionals because cars can only sell after 5 years because of design.
no.
No other category. Today is more so. And where would the designers come from? So we needed local or Indian institutes to impart that knowledge. And that's how the idea came through, that because, each country has its own cultural norms, and we have our own way of seeing things around us, and therefore the Indian designers would have the edge to, or at least they would be far more affordable and faster
Yes.
than getting the designs from abroad.
From abroad. Definitely. It would have been more expensive, and I think that changed the face, or we would say the reach of automotive industry because of the institute. And definitely one of the most successful institute which anyone has seen in India when it comes to automotive industry. So we took a break after, I would say 2015, and you're back again.
Yeah.
So we would like to hear again from you.
So, if the reason to be in partnership with ADYPU in 2010, it is far more compelling now, because in 2010 you had India as a GDP of less than 2 trillion. You have now 4.5 trillion. You had auto industry which was less than 2 million. You have an auto industry which is now 4.5 trillion.
Yes.
So, and more so because the pace of design is changing so fast that, when a new car is introduced, in less than 2 years, it achieves fatigue. They have to start discounting the
Yes.
So how do you
Cater
get
to that
faster,
and
new
faster.
products faster?
Yes.
And that's the only way to design newer and newer stuff, which is happening across the world. I mean, look at China. I would not like to quote them, but it's amazing what they've done. They've decimated the world, not because they're cheap, but because they're beautifully designed. And they went from being the copycats to actually leading the world now. I mean, they are not allowed to sell in so many countries. But if you see, even if in India you go to a Chinese showroom like BYD, you'll see that quality and the design stuff they're doing is far, far higher than the European style. So we will follow the same trajectory. We have to, because our per capita penetration of cars is abysmally low even today. Like all of them would like to have their own car, like they have their own cell phone.
Right.
And how will they do that? So, of course, they will need to do that. But important is that manufacturers need to create
Those nice
exciting, desirable
designs
products.
for them. Yes.
And these are the folks who can make that happen.
True. So now, can we hear something about what you have in mind with the transportation design program which we are looking with collaboration, and naming is at ADYPU DC?
So, can I have some water?
Yes.
So, we employed several designers, many of you from your school, IDC, NID, and they don't know anything. So they don't know anything, they're not able to contribute. So if I have a notion that, okay, I've got this guy and he's paying him a good package, design this, after 7 days, when he sends me that, it's wasted 7. That's because it's all road learning, or some learning of what one has got into a syllabus, not from a practical point of view, but from a, something that has been written down through the ages. I mean, even art center. So what I had in mind was that since I am the only practicing
Designer.
practicing
Yes.
and active, very active, I could impart those knowledge of how each and every product ought to be designed, to be built into the car. Because when they build the car, all the notions of what they had of doing something on paper evaporates. It's totally a different way.
They come to reality.
They come to reality. For example, you design a nice silhouette of a car, but will the door be manufacturable? Even if it's manufacturable, what is the cost? So you have certain limitation on raw material processes,
Yes. Sizes.
raw material availability. So you have to cut it to that size
Size,
and then
right.
yet make it beautiful.
Yes.
So, to build a car, there are several disciplines: glass, metals, plastics, composites, aluminium, fabric, leather, instrumentation, locks, beads, waterproofing. Now, it's a sum total of all that.
Yes.
Now, if a student is able to deliver that
Hmm.
to his new job, let's say they're in 4 years, when they take a test,
Huh.
he gets a job immediately
Right.
because he is able to contribute in it.
Right. Right.
There is a severe shortage of jobs. I mean, there's a severe shortage of aspirants severe shortage of competent, employable.
Employable who can actually.
Severe shortage.
Yes.
So, that was my idea, to be able to, they should go to an interview and say, this is the car I built. Apart from with my team, they will get questioned by engineers. How did you do this? They would be totally apprised of it. The question is to make it interesting while they are doing that. Why this? So we have about all our people are 25 years old. Why have they stuck to me? They would have got better offers because they're learning every day, even today.
Yes.
So that is my essence, to give to the industry, global and Indian, a person who can contribute from day one. Let not say day one, at least within 3 months, till he's acclimatized with the culture of the company. And if we have done it, why can't they do it? So that is all my experience I want to impart to them. What mistakes we did, what is the industry going to tell? They're generally are dismissive of somebody new. Usually there's a tough tug of war between engineers and designers.
Yes. Yes.
So engineers will say, "Ye ho nahi sakta hai."
Right. So you should be in a
Go back
position
on
to
the
say
drawing board.
yes.
Because there was job to protect.
Hmm.
They will say, okay, we'll go back to the drawing board.
Right.
Our students will never do that.
Huh.
They will tell the designer, they will tell the engineer, I'm sorry, this can be done.
They have to be the captain of the ship. So they drive
They have
the design.
to showcase leadership.
Yes.
They have to have leadership. And leadership will come only if shows in their work. Well, first is creative. And let me also tell you, no designer is born. No artist is born. No lawyer is born. They're all made. You can be what you want to be. I'm not joking. The mind is such a powerful tool. Believe me. You can do what you want, but you must want it badly enough. If you're saying, okay, as class है, boring है, चलो जाते हैं, picture बस जाते हैं, boyfriend के साथ जाते हैं, you're not going to make it. After you become famous and rich, all the boyfriends will follow you. You understand? It's all work, guys. I mentioned in the earlier phase. If you love the subject, or if you see, the automobile is a subject that you're about to love.
Yeah.
Why is it? Because it's the only product that guarantees strength, freedom, individuality, and mobility. There's no other product in the world. You go from point A to point B. You buy a car which your personality doesn't evoke that, but you want to show to the others that is what you are.
Hmm.
No other product. Not even a house. I know of very many families. They stay in India. I won't name them. Kind of an improvised slum. Improvised slum. But the boy has got a Ferrari. He stays
Yes.
with the father.
Yes.
That's a passion and this thing for cars. See, cars are one thing that it showcases makes you attractive to the opposite sex. I don't know. Also, it gives you that passion to go from point A to B, explore the world. So the car business can never go out of fashion. Many other industries have gone out of fashion. They don't exist. The car industry is 125 years old, going exceedingly strong. In India, the penetration of cars is only 30 per 1,000 people. In China, it is 120 per 1,000 people. In the US, and for advanced economies, is 975 per 1,000 people. So you have to go to that
level. Yes.
from aspect. Our heartbeat and kidney function is same like in America, no? So we have to go there. On the telephones, we have gone there. So it's on the future prospects is so high, The most important thing, Ms. Aparna, is the quality of teaching, how you teach, and the experience that they get. And that is going to be a USP as opposed to any other college in the world. There is no college in the world which will help them build a real car that is drivable.
Yes, I'm sure.
By my client.
Yes.
Who we are going to say is going to take 6 months, find everything done. They learn everything, and the car goes.
Right.
And which car to select, also the students will be deliberation of what car to do. But you have to stand out. Even on design, you have to stand out, otherwise you're finished.
Yes.
You are a commodity.
So of this course, when we are discussing about our program, so I believe we'll have 3 components which the students can look forward to. So entrepreneurship, vocational, of course engineering. So how important at this point, I may ask you, that as a designer I should know the technicalities, the engineering aspect of design?
So, very good question. So engineering aspects, once they're designing and they are in touch with the processes, luckily so much of this material is now available. They will automatically imbibe the engineering aspects. Secondly, even if they are not, our skilled workers have the intuition to know this will work or will not work. They don't have engineering knowledge. They have no experience. But that is the common sense approach when you are handling design, that this part will not work. Even if they do something wrong, that is where our faculty will teach them, why this cannot work. So, it's very easy to say that, but once you you get into the stream, it all fits in. And that is how I fit it. I mean, all my people, 250 people, today is so simple. I just make some hand gestures and what I'm. So that they achieve. Again, bottom line is the interest. If they feel they are coming here to ogle at the boys and girls, is not going to work.
Right.
They have to come here to really have a lucrative career, more so abroad than in India. Because in India, I think a good qualified designer, once they have experience of 3 years or 4 years, but 3 years, once they are able to contribute in 4 years, if I were the employer, I would pay them about 20 lakhs a year. And they are able to show their leadership, their innovation. So, who would not want that?
Right.
And you're doing something new every day. It's not like engineering that is based on formulae. You know this, you achieve this. This is your mind thinking. Like Einstein has always said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Because knowledge is what has been written down. Imagination is coming from your mind.
You can imagine. Yes.
So, those are the aspects that technically the students have to be, charged up. And I think you need to communicate with them that if you can deliver these attributes, human traits, then you're going to make it in life.
I'm sure they are listening to you at this point of time. And apart from the students, what is it you would like to tell the parents?
So parents, the same thing, that if you want in the past, parents wanted, like my parents wanted me to be a graduate. So that I settled out, married, and joined my father's business. I don't think that applies anymore.
Right.
It's all students have become like individuals, the classes. So I think the parents have to be educated enough to allow them to take the risk. Because India has a uniform feature. 30 cars per 1,000 people. Every car has to be designed in 3-4 years. New. There are 6,000 different cars of shapes across the world at any given time. All 6,000 have to be replaced every 6 years, every 5 years. And all the 6,000 cars, at least 5 different design iterations go through them.
Okay.
So you're talking about 20,000 designs
Yes.
on the drawing boards and boardrooms, and after that, one is frozen. Each car costs $2,000-3,000 billion. So from that perspective, that it costs so much to design a car, to put a car on the road. So a lot of responsibility rests on the designers. And because a lot of responsibility rests on the designers, obviously they are paid well. And they are given the leading designers of the world. I mean, if I was in General Motors now, after 30-40 years, I would have retired, but I think prior to this, about 10 years back, I would have my own private jet. I would be traveling first class and all, because they want to retain me.
Right.
They will not retain an engineer. They'll get hundreds of thousands of engineers.
Not a designer. So that's a niche what is created. So also we were going through your experience and your projects. So we also read that specialty vehicles and even the aircraft interiors is something which you have done. So if you can talk something about it.
So, because when you have built up a brand or a legacy, if somebody wants something good, they come to you. And obviously, in our case, because of pedigree and our, rare positioning, only the top people come to us. And therefore, they also like the fact that they would like to get jobs done in India. From the automotive industry, it's very difficult to import a designed car. Because I'll give you an example. A typically designed car, one-off designed car, would cost about $12 to $13 million. A typical one-off design cars like the tank you may have seen in the Auto Expo would at best fetch me 1.5 crore. Though that car didn't fetch me even one fifth of that, because I priced that car in such a way that I needed to impress the customer to go for it, rather than investing my own car. And also, if for example, if we buy our own car and do it, of course we own it, but the question is, there's never any pressure from ourselves. Something else, urgent comes them, okay, stop this, do that. So we always take customers' cars, price them in such a way that they go through it. Now, imagine if I had not done that, you wouldn't have the tank in Delhi. And it's got over 50 million views. I mean, across different portals, 50 million.
That's amazing.
So, now this is what entrepreneurs.
Right.
You have to judge. It's not always not about money. Always about how do you remain in the public eye.
Yes.
So if you have to take the hit sometimes, not at a loss, but you have to do that. So it's in short, your students have to be what do you want to call it? Giano da Vinci. He was a marketeer, he was an artist, he was an engineer, and he was a financier. That's what I learned in Art Center. Except I didn't learn the real tactics of building a car.
So yes, so definitely our students, if I can visualize the future, are going to have definitely an edge over what other institutes are going to offer.
Otherwise, why am I here?
And yes, and we are very fortunate enough. Yeah.
I had a lot of offers. I still have one, but I was not looking for. Because I didn't have time. I was not looking for all that. I like Ajeenkya as a person. I had some listening with him. So he approached me and said, rejoin. That's why I'm here. Otherwise, every institute would want to have a course with this pedigree.
No, we are not letting you go now, very soon. And we are really fortunate enough that you agreed and you are here. So let me also tell you.
The hunger is that our students should find get jobs at the high salaries of that sector and immediate. That's a hunger. Whether they are coming out from you or from me, it doesn't make your choice.
Yes.
So it's not about other institutes, but it's about creating talent for the manufacturers and creating and improvising their lifestyle. And so many people, so many ex-designers of our company have gone on becoming entrepreneurs. So many. They're my competitors today.
So I think that's a beauty of our profession. That's a beauty. You tend to see the people whom you have groomed, whom you have actually, and they are there doing so well.
You know what happens? You're happy in one way.
And you are.
But also you said, what the hell?
Yes.
You have to improve.
True.
You are offering many times over, and that helps you.
Right. So, his philosophy, I would like to just let the audience know. Good design is good business. Would you like to say something about that?
So, two competing products. Product A and product B. A costs 100, B costs 100. So, when two competitors are making, both of the costs are similar. 2% here and there. Why should yours sell? And at what price? So the B, if it is because of design is more attractive than A, and because of design he has built a brand, something unique, you'll get 30% margin more than A. And there'll be a line of this thing for him rather than the customer doesn't mind paying 30% more. If you ask him 200% more, 300% more, though we are criminals in that, we charge 200%, 300% more. But we get away with it. But I'm saying as a career going forward, it will not be the same. So that is what good designers good builds. It doesn't cost you 1 rupee more. It's costing you same like A. But because of it, design is better. Designers is intangible. There's no cost.
Yes.
That's what I meant with designing. It also creates opportunities. It creates a desire when it creates it delivers on an unmet need. It has to be desired.
It has to be.
Wow.
Yes. So also when we are talking about the future, your future vision, so what I'm reading about you is that you're venturing into differentiated electric vehicles, leveraging the insights which you've definitely gained from manufacturing the Avanti. And so what would it mean to the automotive industry?
So it would mean because I would be an entrepreneur, a fledgling entrepreneur. I can take higher risks. I don't have a committee to cater to. And also I can be highly differentiated because since the cars cost so much to develop and put on the road, the manufacturers who are led by marketeers or finance people, they want something middle of the road. Therefore you find car companies which are massive in size like General Motors, Ford, they almost fail. Or specialist car companies like Honda and BMW, differentiated design. So what I would do is create something that caters to just maybe 4-5% of the market. The manufacturer will not sign up on a project that just caters to 4-5%. I will. So it will be standing out and all that. That's what my touching. That is marketing. That's what I've learned.
Right. No, I'm sure all these skills are very, very important, and that is what the students will be.
Yeah. So in the curriculum, there is that we have to pick up why this car succeed.
Right.
And why this path fail.
So those case studies are going to be very important part of the curriculum, I'm sure.
And I have a whole lot of case studies.
Definitely. So I think that is going to be a wonderful addition to what the curriculum should be looking forward to. So sir, on this note, I think we will have another podcast with you, and looking forward for more detailing, more understanding. And all of us heard the master speak himself today, and we are so fortunate that he is here. He is going to be with us.
It's my pleasure to make the young rock the world, like how the techies have rocked the Googles and the Microsofts, or another design
Yes.
departments. There are a lot of design Indians now in the design departments. For example, Lincoln is led by a lot. Anyway, did you find my talk interesting or boring? Did you yawn? Well,
So if all the budding designers, you want to learn from him, this is your chance. So come join Ajeenkya D.Y. Patil University School of Design, and we will welcome you wholeheartedly.
this is a course that is unlike anywhere in the world. See, why we are saying you build a car that drives is because Indian costs are lower than an American cost or Japanese cost. There they cannot. It will cost them $13 million to build a car. Here a customer place. So those are dynamics.
Yes.
And you only exploit that.
Right. And your experience can only bring those dynamics here.
So considering that from the age of 15 and now 70, almost 55 years, I'm into cars like sleeping, drinking, everything. So that sums it up. And I'm working for anyone. I'm not retired.
Right.
And hope condition.
Yes. I think as an architect, as a designer, we dream about what you have achieved and what you have gone through your whole journey. So that's a dream every creative person looks for. And so we are so fortunate, and thank you very much, sir. It was an honor and a pleasure to have you here and having this conversation. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.